Alright guys, so another vid. What we got here is well, it's not actually what's in there, but I keep getting comments about a video I posted, or I think two videos I posted maybe 1 or 2 years ago about the Traxxas Jado with the Novarossi 21 engine in it. And I wasn't sure or could remember what it was, but this is the engine that was in there for those of you that are interested, that have asked me several times. So that's the guy that's in there. But that's not what's in here at the moment. What we got is the owner of the 1/5 scale gave me a bunch of engines. You guys saw that in one of the previous vids. This is one of them in here. The 1/5 scale has gone back home for now. Hopefully it will be making another appearance when the weather gets better, because it's been raining and just crappy and awful. Anyways, let's get into it, what we got in here. Alright, so what we got is a blown up kyosho ke25. We're going to get into exactly what happened. So this engine was in a Mad Crusher, kyosho Mad Crusher, and the battery pack had come disconnected somehow, and the truck took off wide open and flipped over, and well, that happened. As you can see, the connecting rod is well, yeah, it's blown up anyways. Excuse me. So I went on eBay and I found a this isn't scratches, by the way, you can't feel any of that. I went on eBay and I found a brand new connecting rod for 15 bucks. So I ordered it. I don't know when it's going to be here, but I also ordered a new set of bearings. And for some reason, I'll show you guys also how to clean this block up too, really nice. Kyosho doesn't list the bearing sizes, dimensions, or anything else for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of stupid, but if we look, you guys can see it says 607 RS. That's the front bearing. And for some reason, it's got both seals still in it. I don't know why. But that guy goes in the front. This guy goes in the rear. So, you can see the sleeve. There is damage from somebody grabbing it with a pair of pliers. It's not warped or anything. I've already checked that, but it's all boogered up. I'll show you how to fix that up, no problem. But a lot of people ask, well, how do I know what size rear bearing I need if I can't find one? Well, I'll show you. Hopefully, this is going to work this time. I've had to make this video about 5 times now. Excuse me again. Right, so what we're going to do is grab your little caliper, micrometer, whatever you want to call it. Turn it on. We're in millimeters, and we're going to measure, make sure all these stuff is clean, there's no oil or grease on it. We're going to measure the ID first. This is very inaccurate. It's been dropped 1,000 times. It also was stored with a big magnet on top of it for a while, so it's not reading true. So we got 14 on the ID. We got 25. Well, it's actually supposed to be, I think it's 24. I believe it's 24 millimeters on the OD here. And then the width is 6 millimeters. Like I said, this thing is very, very inaccurate. It's been dropped 1,000 times. It's got all kinds of issues. I actually need to buy a new one. This was like a cheap one from Lordco for, I think, 20 bucks. But yeah, so again, how you do it, make sure it's seated in there. So measure your inside, measure your outside, then measure your width, like that. So that's how you find out what size of bearings you need. Then you can go to your bearing supplier on eBay or wherever, and make sure you specify that the engine, or the bearings that you're going to be putting in your engine, are for extremely high speeds, above 40,000 RPM, with oil added, or with oil lubrication. So that's how you measure that. But anyways, so in total, the connecting rod was 15 bucks. The rear bearing was 10, I believe, and the front bearing was 5. So like 30 bucks for everything. It's really not that bad. And like I was mentioning before, I will show you guys how to clean up all that varnish on the block inside and out. And the other thing is, because of the shrapnel that was in here, I already did clean up the sleeve a little bit with some 1000 grit sandpaper, just to get rid of any of the burrs. But there's lots of damage on the inside of the block. You guys can see all those big scratches. The crankcase bore itself, where the crank sits, where my finger's poking, is perfectly fine. So we're not worried about that, but the sleeve is very difficult to get back in the block, and it gets stuck and wedged up really bad. So what we're going to do is take some 800 grit wet dry sandpaper. We're going to put some oil in here, and we're just going to run that through here just to clean up any rough spots so that the sleeve will sit in the block again. Now, like I mentioned, the top of this sleeve is well, you can see the damage sticking up if you look really carefully. So the gasket wouldn't make a nice seal here. So what we're going to do is take, again, some 1000 grit paper and some oil on a flat surface and lap this in. We're not trying to increase compression. We're just trying to get rid of those little burrs so that the button and gasket can connect properly again. And it will all be done on video when the parts come in. Anyways, guys, just a quick vid on this other project here. I was blowing up ke25 and that Novarasi N21 5T RT, whatever. I don't even know anything about them. I know they're fast and they're a great engine. But anyways, you guys will see a vid about this when the parts come in. Until then, guys, take it easy. Keep burning nitro. Cheers.